So what is going on everyone, Doozy here, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. So in this video I'm going to cover all of the rune combos for all the currently available new Menagerie weapons. We don't have the swords just yet, and they'll probably come with the heroic version, and I'll update that when it's available. But today we're just focusing on all the rune combos for all of the new weapons, since there's actually a lot of old weapons added into the loot pool as well. So I'll actually try to explain the first one in a little more detail, that way hopefully, a few people may be a little less confused. And then after that I'll just list each rune combo for that weapon. But first I want to give a big shout out to Windsor and BunnyBot5000 because they both put out some extremely helpful spreadsheets. And honestly, after this video, if you don't kind of have an understanding for this, I highly recommend you go check those out. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So if you just want to go for the base weapon with a random Masterwork, you're only going to need rune slots 1 and 2 unlocked, along with that weapon's rune compatibility slot, which is located at the bottom left of your chalice. But if you want to be able to choose which Masterwork type you want, you'll actually need rune slot 3 unlocked as well. And then also it's worth mentioning that each rune compatibility will actually allow you to get certain pieces of armor as well. But for this video, we're just focusing on the weapons. So for example, rune compatibility 1 allows you to slot red runes, which will get you power weapons. Rune slot number 2 allows you to slot green runes, which will get you hand cannons and sidearms. And then rune slot number 3 will allow you to slot blue runes to get fusion rifles and shotguns. So with so many different weapons and rune combos, it can honestly be kinda intimidating at first, but once you actually know the rune combos for slots 1 and 2 for which weapon it is that you want, the rest is pretty simple since the Masterwork types all stay the same, and they stay the same for all the weapons, such as like purple for handling, red for reload, and so on and so on. You'll see what I mean in just a second. So for example, let's go ahead and start out with probably the most popular one at the moment, which is the Austringer hand cannon. I hope that's how you pronounce it. But as I said before, depending on the weapon you want to farm for, you'll need to have the corresponding rune compatibility slot unlocked. And since this is a hand cannon, you would need to have rune compatibility slot 2 unlocked, since it allows you to get green runes for hand cannons. And I know this part is pretty simple since it actually tells you on the description of each icon, but like I said, I just want to make sure that everybody, has a basic understanding of that part. But anyways, if you just want the Austringer hand cannon and you don't care about the Masterwork talent that comes with it, then you would need to put a rune of desire in slot 1 and any red rune in slot 2. So this will ensure that you get the hand cannon, since if you were just to put a rune of desire in slot 1 and nothing in slot 2, then it's going to be random as to which hand cannon you get. But then we have the Masterwork rune combos, and remember you're going to need rune slot 3 unlocked to be able to choose the Masterwork. And for each Masterwork talent, the first 2 runes are going to stay the same no matter what. You should see what I mean in the example. So for example, if you wanted the Austringer with a handling Masterwork, you would need a rune of desire in slot 1, any red rune in slot 2, and a purple rune in slot 3. If you want a reload Masterwork, you're going to need a rune of desire in slot 1, any red rune in slot 2, and a red rune in slot 3. For range Masterwork, you're going to need a rune of desire in slot 1, any red rune in slot 2, and a green rune in slot 3. And then lastly, for a stability Masterwork, you're going to once again need a rune of desire in slot 1, any red rune in slot 2, and a blue rune in slot 3. So as you can see with each of those, the first 2 runes stayed the same, and only the Masterwork rune slot changed, and it'll be like that for the rest of the weapons as well, so it's really not too complicated. And then also, I just want to mention this since I know some people may get confused, but when applying a certain color rune to the corresponding second or third rune slot, it doesn't matter which specific rune it is, as long as that's the color listed for that rune slot. For example, with the handling Masterwork Austringer, you need a rune of desire in slot 1. This is the one that has to be specific, and any red rune in slot 2. So it doesn't matter if it's the gluttony, ambition, or cunning, just as long as it's red. And then any purple rune in slot 3. And once again, it doesn't matter if it's the joy, beast, or jubilation, just as long as it's purple. I hope I explained that a little bit better, but anyways, next up, let's go over the beloved sniper rifle. So once again, if you just want the base weapon with a random Masterwork, then you would put a rune of jubilation in slot 1, any red rune in slot 2. And remember, the first 2 are going to stay the same, just like in the previous example, so they're not going to change. So now we just need the Masterworks. So with the first 2 runes staying the same, for a handling Masterwork, you would put a purple in slot 3. For a reload Masterwork, you would put a red in slot 3. For a range Masterwork, you would put a green in slot 3. And then for a stability Masterwork, you would put a blue in slot 3. The next up for the Calus mini tool, so just the weapon with a random Masterwork, is going to be a rune of the beast in slot 1. With any purple in slot 2. And then for the handling Masterwork, you would put a purple in slot 3. For a reload Masterwork, you would put a red in slot 3. For a range Masterwork, you would put any green in slot 3. And then for a stability Masterwork, you would put any blue in slot 3. And then after that, we have the new Drang and Boroque. I think that's how you say it. I hope so anyways. But for the base weapon with a random Masterwork, it's a Rune of Pride in slot 1 and any purple rune in slot 2. And then for a handling Masterwork, it's a purple rune in slot 3. For a reload Masterwork, it's a red rune in slot 3. For a range Masterwork, it's a green rune in slot 3. And for a stability Masterwork, it's a blue rune in slot 3. So by now you may have started to see a pattern that all of the actual Masterworks are the same, you know, such as handling always being purple, reload always being red, and so on and so on. But anyways, I'll continue. So next up we have the fixed odds light machine gun. So for the base weapon with a random Masterwork, it's going to be a Rune of Ambition in slot 1 and any blue in slot 2. But for a handling Masterwork, a purple in slot 3. For a reload Masterwork, you would need a red in slot 3. A range Masterwork will take a green in slot 3. And then for stability Masterwork, it's going to be a blue in slot 3. And next up we have the Imperial Decree shotgun. So for the base weapon with a random Masterwork, it's going to be a Rune of Wealth in slot 1 and any green rune in slot 2. And once again, the handling Masterwork will have a purple in slot 3, a reload Masterwork will be a red in slot 3, a range Masterwork will be a green in slot 3, and a stability Masterwork will be a blue in slot 3. And then lastly we have the Epicurean fusion rifle. So for the base weapon with a random Masterwork, it's a Rune of Excess in slot 1 and any green in slot 2. And once again, for a handling Masterwork, it's a purple in slot 3. For a reload Masterwork, it's a red in slot 3. For a range Masterwork, it's a green in slot 3. And then for a stability Masterwork, it's a blue in slot 3. So yeah, anyways, those are all the current new weapon combos in the Menagerie. Like I said, we don't have the swords just yet, but I also plan on making a video covering just all the weapon combos in general, and not just the new ones, but the entire weapon pool. You know, just in case anyone wants to farm for anything like maybe a good Twilight Oath sniper or a Trust hand cannon or something like that. And I also plan on covering the armor as well, but I don't think I'm going to cover every single rune combo for those since there's seriously so many. And I'll more than likely just do the armor along with the mobility, resilience, and recovery, since if you want to like specify it with like arc resistance or void, there's so many different combos, so I'll probably just stick to those for right now, so be on the lookout for that. And I know this may seem like a lot to take in, but eventually you start to get used to it, or at least hopefully. But once again, big shout out to Windsor and BunnyBot5000 for the extremely helpful spreadsheets. Like I said, if you're still confused, I highly recommend you go check those out. But yeah, anyways guys, that about does it for this video, so hopefully you enjoyed and found some of this helpful. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you took a second to leave a like on the video since it helps me out. And also subscribe if you're new here for more Destiny 2 videos and all that good stuff. And until next time, I will catch you all later.